Edward Snowden is not being shy about his latest request. The whistleblower took to Twitter Thursday asking President Trump to pardon founder of WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, saying the move could save his life. The whistleblower is awaiting a judge's ruling scheduled for January on his extradition to the U.S. In the meantime, he's sitting in a U.K. prison. If convicted, Assange would face an 18-count indictment for alleged espionage and conspiracy to commit hacking. He could face up to 175 years. Assange was arrested in London in April of 2019. This was after he sought sanctuary in the Ecuadorian embassy for 7 years. In 2010 and 2011, Assange published classified documents revealing red flags within the U.S. military, as well as emails and other documents within the Democratic National Committee. After years of confinement, the 49-year-old's health is reportedly declining. More than 60 doctors came together last year writing a letter pleading for Assange's release. The letter displays their concern that Assange could pass away while in custody. Their request was denied. After Joe Biden continues to stack up picks for his cabinet, many Assange supporters fear what a would-be Biden administration would look like for the whistleblower.
He's forfeited his right to freedom of speech as well.
Well, Matt, Mr. Snowden,
right,
as we've talked about, let me just state this because I think it's important.
A pardon under a Biden administration seems unlikely, as Vice President Biden called Assange a high-tech terrorist, saying Assange put lives at risk. Edward Snowden, on the other hand, remains in Russia. Last month, Snowden announced he and his wife would seek Russian citizenship without denouncing being a U.S. citizen. They are currently expecting a boy. According to Snowden's attorney, the couple will have dual citizenship and the boy will be born a Russian citizen. Recently, Snowden was granted a Russian permanent residency permit after taking refuge in the country for 7 years. Reporting for In Question, Natasha Sweet, RT.
I was joined earlier by former UK MP George Galloway for more analysis on this topic. Take a look at some of what he had to say.
It's a remarkable intervention by him, and it's remarkable because he too is a fugitive, as you said, much sought after by US governments, although most people think that Edward Snowden performed a signal public service to the people of the United States by blowing the whistle on malfeasance and crimes, actually, by the US state. So he has used this opportunity to come to the aid of Julian Assange, which speaks to his good character, but also to the absolutely desperate situation now of Julian Assange in a prison wing which was already swirling with the coronavirus, but which is now being stuffed with new patients suffering from the coronavirus. Prisoners are being moved from one part of the prison into Julian Assange's wing whilst suffering from coronavirus. It is almost as if the British government was hoping to save itself the embarrassment of deporting Assange to 175 years in a supermax Guantanamo Bay in Colorado by having him die before he gets there. It's a desperate situation.
It really is, and you know, we've seen a number of reports about Assange's case, and when it comes to these figures like Assange and Snowden, we know that if Trump were to move to pardon them, it would greatly anger the political establishment here in the U.S. Now, given everything that we've seen surrounding Trump so far, do you think that he's going to make that move during his final days in office?
I don't think it's impossible at all. In a way, particularly Assange. Assange is not an American citizen. He committed no crimes in America. He did not betray America in any sense. And of course, one of the main reasons why the US has tried so hard to get Julian Assange is not because of the charges on the charge sheet, but because of his revelations about the Hillary Clinton campaign. The leaks from the DNC, which so gravely embarrassed and embroiled the tops in the Democratic Party. So that might prove a piquant point of interest for Mr. Trump, President Trump, in his last days. It would certainly be a tremendous poke in the eye for Hillary Clinton and the Democrats. And we know that Donald Trump is sometimes prone to do that.
That he is. And now if Trump doesn't do it, then it becomes the question of, is there any chance that Biden will? Now, one of the facts that is rarely mentioned by the media is that the Obama administration actually targeted more whistleblowers and more journalists than any other presidency in U.S. history. Biden, of course, was a member of that administration. So is there any hope at all that Biden will give them any sort of mercy?
Well, that's true, but President Obama looked nice in a tan suit, and he could croon a bit, not a bad singer, and has therefore ascended to the heavens as far as liberal and progressive media are concerned. But he did indeed persecute journalists and whistleblowers. But he tended not to put them on trial. He tended to pull back from trials that would gravely undermine any claim that the United States had any kind of values recognizable in the rest of the world so far as freedom of information was concerned. So I don't have a lot of hope in Joe Biden in this regard, but neither have I lost hope entirely. It is possible, but the best way would be for Donald Trump to give it as a parting gift to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, well, excellent insight as always. George Galloway, thank you so much for your time.